Welcome to the Fink, It Isn't Until It Is podcast. I'm Finn.
I'm Tim.
I'm Guy. In which we discuss the various moving parts in a life in music.
Welcome back to the Fink, It Isn't Until It Is podcast. Thank you for listening once again. This week, we are in a very special place, talking about a very special subject. And the place we are in is the wonderful Zena Sound studio in Cornwall, where we have gathered to record something.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I wonder what we're recording. We're here. We're in front of a kind of a roaring fire, and we're here to talk about the return of the live album.
Yes, that's the title of the podcast of
Yes.
this episode, isn't it? The Return of the Live Album.
Yeah.
So
That's right.
Let's unpack that title for a second.
Yeah.
Live album. We're a band and we play a lot of gigs.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the live albums, a bit of heritage there. All of our Muse bands have done live albums.
Yeah.
How do we feel about live albums? Not our own, but how do we feel about live albums?
Well, I feel like the live album has changed a bit over the years, because in the 70s and 80s, when I was growing up, it was an event. Like, a band probably released maybe one live album, maybe two if they had a really long career. And live albums were really I remember Live Killers by Queen, Simon and Garfunkel concert in Central Park, a few others I can't think of right now.
Was the Killer Queen album, was that a gig?
Live Killers, it was of a tour in 1977.
Right.
It's absolutely fantastic. And back then, I feel like live albums were quite a kind of an event, and they were beautifully packaged, and they were a real proper article. And you probably wouldn't have wanted to buy too many of them. But then, in about the 2000s, that all kind of changed, and people became much more kind of trigger happy with releasing live recordings. And so there are certain bands who've got tons of live albums.
There's also the whole... one of my favourite live albums when I was growing up was this Kool and the Gang live album, where a lot of samples were taken from it. But that you could tell that the crowd noise was kind of flown in, like you had the same person whistling at the same moment in between. There's also that whole fan culture of bootlegging live albums, which was massive in the sort of 70s and 80s,
Definitely.
wasn't it? And especially punk and hardcore. There's innumerable live fan albums out there.
Yeah,
and,
sure. Bootlegs were really great. If you got a bootleg of your favourite band, that could be like the equivalent of... Because some of the indie bands I used to love, they wouldn't have put a live album out because they just didn't have that many they'd only done 2 studio albums. So that was like the thing to listen to. You could listen to all the banter.
Yeah.
I used to love to listen to all the in-between song banter.
Absolutely.
Good evening. It's going to be a good one, isn't it, tonight? I can feel it already.
But I kind of feel like the live album has become more of it's kind of gone full circle, and now it's like when people put out live albums, they put much more effort into the packaging and the photos, and they're more beautiful again.
Yeah, the thing is, when I do a lot of crate digging, obviously when we're on tour, and you're always bumping into these live albums, because they're the albums that actually, as someone who likes to buy a lot of music, I don't like to buy live albums, generally speaking. I've got live albums from my past, like you, that I'm really attached to.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, when I see an album from a band I really like, and I'm like, oh my God, it's a new album I haven't heard, and it'll be like live in Birmingham or something, I'm like, ugh.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because the quality is so variable.
Yeah.
Like other albums, like that Hawkwind album I brought to the studio, is a live album, and you kind of...
is it?
You wouldn't even know.
Oh,
it's so well done, and I think...
Yeah, the packaging is amazing for a live album. It looks conceptual.
There was also that kind of occasional habit of having albums that were hybrids, right? Where you'd have like one side of the record was live and the other side was material. It was kind of a way of filling your release schedule quickly with something because you've got a couple of songs but not a whole album's worth.
Yeah,
maybe.
rattle and hum.
Yeah, Frank Zappa did a lot of that as well. A lot of live stuff that was then taken back to the studio and messed around with and recorded over and edited.
I remember reading somewhere that the Rolling Stones were the first people to like own a mobile recording unit.
Yeah.
So it once obviously to record their own gigs naturally, but once that was in play, all of a sudden live recordings in that world were kind of, the big boys could afford to rent the van, and you could now record your live album. Wouldn't be like, here's a mic in the middle of a room.
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
or like, I guess, I don't know, but I guess like early separates.
Yeah.
Like an 8-channel mix or something.
Definitely. The Rolling Stones Mobile. It was a famous. I think the Queen album that I mentioned was recorded on that.
Only they had enough money to do something that crazy.
Right, yeah.
But similarly, in like sort of the funk and soul world, there's some awesome recordings of live albums where they must have taken most of the studio down there to do it in the early 70s. There must have been mixing desks and...
Yeah, because it would have gone down to tape, wouldn't it? Of course.
I guess like the Grover Washington Jr. Live at the Bayou is really amazing, and the CTI Summer Festival season where it's like the quality is astonishing. But I think there was a bit of a lull in like, let's say, the 80s and 90s because of the cost.
Yeah.
And that's been negated now because your front of house guy, if he's got a laptop open, he can probably grab the channels if he's got the right interface or whatever. He can grab most of the tour, and you can deal with it later.
Yeah, sure.
Which has kind of made it a much more inclusive for bands to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's the position we're in.
Well, it is, isn't it?
Yes.
Have you got a favourite live album, Guy?
Oh, there are so many to choose from.
Would it be Zappa, you think?
Iron Maiden, Live After Death.
That's a classic.
It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
Zappa, there are too many live albums to choose from, but they're all great, obviously.
But I like the live album. I like it. I don't necessarily like it when it's just like, in the past they would maybe do 3 nights at the same venue, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
And they'd wear the same outfit every night because they might be filming it, and then they would release it as the London live show, but it would actually be like the best of from all 3 kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so I don't know whether I prefer the whole kind of like, here's the best bits from our tour, or one of the live albums which most influenced me when I was a kid was the Orbs live album, Live Evil.
Yeah.
And because it had like, I'm in Leeds at university at this point, and it had these amazing versions of these album tracks that I knew inside out, and then these live versions were the same but much longer and much more different and much more interesting, with really exotic places like Budapest and Paris. And you're like, oh, wow, and it really I felt like I was traveling.
So they did a touring a live album, did they? Like,
Evil. I think it wasn't called Live Evil. It was called Evil 93.
Right.
And it was just, I never got a chance to see the Orb, but I feel like I've experienced it through this record. It's so fantastic.
I suppose back in the day, the problem was, obviously, if they wanted to do a live recording, they had to get the tape machine down there.
All that, yeah.
So all that fuss, like a lot of the live albums I know, like 101 by Depeche Mode, that was all in one gig.
Right.
There's a Simple Minds live album that I used to love, which is all one gig.
The problem with that, and we've experienced that ourselves, is that if you say, right, you know what, lads, the London show, we're going to film it, we're going to record it, and then all of a sudden that show will be the most, upright, nervous, boring,
it's not fair
safest.
on the fans. It's not fair on the fans either, because you got to capture. If you're going to capture that live moment that you talked about with Radiohead, you can't contrive to do it. We've done that in the past. We've tried to contrive to make a live experience and like that, and it's almost, well, in my opinion, I think it's almost impossible.
I mean, it is if you're not just trotting out the same show every night. If you're like a boy band or something, then it's like, yeah, fine, every show's exactly the same. It doesn't matter, just pick one.
Yeah.
But if you're like if you're rolling with the punches in on the indie circuit as a real live band, hey man, you don't know that London show, maybe the sound will be shit, maybe your feet will hurt or something. I don't know. Maybe Timmy would have banged his head on the bus that day or something. And who knows?
Might have. Yeah, there's one of Zappa's live recordings. He actually says to the band before they start playing the song, remember we're recording this, everybody, so everybody get this right. We have to have all the right notes in all the right places.
Well, he says that in the gig?
In the gig to everybody.
No
and I mean, he's probably got a band of 11 people, and the piece they then play is so complicated that, I mean, the terror, it's like as if the band, they know you're recording. You don't need to tell them that. They'd be terrified.
Exactly.
Put the fear of God in them. Be like, what if I'm the one who wrecks this take for everybody?
No, that's the thing, isn't it? Everyone's just already. And the best thing about live performance for the band and the people that go and see gigs is the fact that it's a moment in time that only happens once, and those really amazing moments happen when everybody is a bit lost in the music, band, audience, everyone. And those are the magical I was there moments, and you can't kind of engineer those for love or money, I don't think.
I mean, there's several. It's funny you should mention Live After Death, because I was also going to say that there's
classic record.
Yeah, I mean, those are the alpha versions of those songs, as far as I'm concerned.
Me too.
If I hear the studio version of Number of the Beast now, I'm just like, oh no, it's not as good as the Live After Death version. And the same goes for Stop Making Sense, Talking Heads. The versions on Speaking in Tongues are nowhere near as good as the Stop Making Sense live versions. So that's a challenge in a way. If you can better your studio version with a live version.
I mean, that Talking Heads, that was a live installation almost.
Sure.
I mean, I can not only can I hear it, I can actually see it in my head.
As soon as you said that, I picture that funny suit he was wearing in the dancing. It's
the
magnificent.
Guy's a genius.
Magnificent.
Totally.
I'm trying to think if there was a live Elvis album or a live Beatles album. I know Let It Be in a way, but it's more concept. I don't really know if there was a live
Beatles
well,
album.
from that era, you gonna have to tip your hat to Johnny Cash and Folsom Prison.
Oh yeah, I mean, brilliant live album. Yeah,
those ones. And there was a few of those sort of similar vibes at the time.
BB King did a great Prison album as well.
Yeah.
I mean, there's also that kind of. Sometimes you would need to go to an institution that could record it. Like when we've played in fancy classical venues, they're all ready to go. They've got a mixing suite up in the gods somewhere to record all their fancy classical stuff. So I'm sure in the past you would just have to roll up with a recording studio and set it up out the back somewhere and just snake all the leads back there. But
remember, we were on tour once. I think we mentioned this in the last podcast, so I'll keep this brief, but conversely, when people were still buying CDs, we met someone on tour who was recording every single show they did in real time and then printing the CD of it and giving it to the fans as they left the building that night, which is it's two things, isn't it? Because it's absolutely genius because people can take home the recording of the gig, but you can't mix it, you can't control it.
And you can't change if you suck.
And you can't change if you did a gig that was really
and
really
I remember
bad.
that guy whose name should not be mentioned, and he sucked that night. And he was gutted because then he had to sit there and
watch
press
people
up
walk
50
out
CDs.
with a here you go, here's your CD of how badly I messed up the ending of blah 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 today.
Literally,
so huge risk. You can't be, So for me, it's a fine line really between really difficult, costs $1 million in a truck parked outside, or you're a sound engineer is literally printing the CDs straight from the mixing desk, unmixed for the audience.
I never thought that was a good idea. I mean,
it's not a good
especially
idea.
on CD, of course. But like the live album as a concept, is it strong? Is it a genre in itself, Mr. T? Would you say?
I would say yes, it is. I would definitely say. Yeah, good ones, if they've thought about it and if they've put a lot of effort into the track listing, the kind of setting and the artwork, and then it can be a really amazing item, a real amazing product. I mean, I've got several live albums, and I do really kind of cherish them. But then some of them are like if they're badly recorded, a little bit kind of half-hearted.
I mean, if you've got like a Howlin' Wolf gig or something, that's quite special if it's recorded badly. But if you've got like a bootleg, then cassette technology's come a long way since standing in a punk gig with a tape recorder under your jacket, which is what a lot of those records kind of sound like.
Yeah. Do you know what here's a bit of trivia for you. Do you know what the highest selling live album ever is?
I mean, Live After Death can't be too far off the top spot.
What's the name of the band that did Mummy's Alright, Daddy's Alright, and they did an album they released in Japan that literally went stratospheric. Is it those guys?
Who are they?
I have no idea who you're talking about, bro.
You two, that's terrible. Cheap Trick.
Cheap
Trick.
And their career was over, and then they went to Japan. They went to Japan. They did one gig, which again, that's the version everyone listens to.
Yes,
is this live gig? And to be fair, it's brilliant. It's like it's an amazing record, but I'm guessing it's not them.
No, it's not. I mean,
Is it a British band?
No, it's a British person.
Oh,
and it's the biggest selling album of his career. This live album, you might not get it.
It's a British person.
Is it Elton John?
No, it's more niche than that. You'll probably
is it male or female?
Male. You'll probably be like, what? Who? Shall I just tell you?
Yeah, tell us.
Peter Frampton. Frampton Comes Alive.
That's the biggest selling live album of all time.
To be fair, that's a huge album. To be fair.
Oh, fair. That's fair.
Yeah. I am surprised, but also not surprised.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But all the alpha versions of his songs are all on that.
Wow. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, nice trivia, Mr. T.
Thank you.
And you guys both learned Cheap Trick, and I remember the name.
I do remember that story now, actually. Yeah. So anyway, why are we talking about this?
Yes, it's a very valid point, Mr. T. Why are we talking about bands who release live product? Well,
I wonder.
Anyone that's been on... Well, we've done a few, haven't we?
We've done two.
We've done two. Yeah. We've done Wheels Turn Beneath My Feet, Volume 1. And what do you want to explain what that was at the time?
That was a document of one tour. That was the Perfect Darkness tour. We thought we'd record as many gigs as possible and put the best ones out, because that was, to date, that was the biggest tour we'd done. That was like the biggest production we'd had, and we thought, well, we've got to document this with a jolly good live album. So I think we recorded, we probably recorded like 15 gigs.
Yeah, it was the first time we were on a bus, first time we had a stage show, first time we had any crew, really. And we were playing lots of places that we thought were really glamorous, like Prague and Warsaw, and really
Lyon.
Getting out there. And and I think the pride that we felt just doing it really got poured into that record, I think.
Yeah, sure.
And subsequently, that record's become a bit of an audiophile Discogs monster.
Right.
We haven't repressed it. We haven't redone it. It was very expensive packaging. Lots of booklet and pictures and all that stuff. So it's just become a little bit of a nice little rare artifact.
Yeah.
The other one we did, of course, was the RCO.
Yeah. The following year.
Which is kind of a similar concept, as in, look at us. We just did this. You can, if you weren't there, you can buy it. Which kind of isn't the same as being there, but sometimes it maybe is even better than being there, because it's like sounds really amazing.
But that was risky because, I mean, for all sorts of reasons, it was risky because it was one gig. Because we had this whole orchestra, and if we'd sucked or something had gone wrong, that would have been really bad.
Well, we wouldn't have we didn't do the gig thinking we were going to do a live album.
No, for sure. But I mean, but we had all sorts of other things, like the kind of live stream going to an iPad
Apple TVs,
and all of that. So it was a lot of high stakes stuff. But thankfully, we rose to the occasion, and so the orchestra were awesome as well. So.
Which leads us to now.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess a lot of people have always been asking us if we could repress Wheels Turn Beneath My Feet 1, and we've always went, no. But, we just kind of felt the time was good for the next installment, really.
Yeah, sure. And it's been a while, so we've got...
What's the title of this new live record?
Wheels Turn Beneath My Feet 2.
Brilliant.
Yes.
Genius. The marketing department need to be rewarded and applauded for that.
We did think for quite a long time about that.
We did.
But it's basically it's 3 tours, 3 albums of tours.
What was it then? Hard Believer, Resurgam, and Fall Into the Light.
Bloom Innocent.
So 4 tours then.
I guess 4 tours, in total. But three studio albums. We've had these recordings knocking around for a while. And so we got Rob, our long-suffering sound engineer, to send us
most of them.
Lots of them, rendering lots of gigs. And we had to kind of... I think actually the first thing we did was we wrote a list of songs that we thought should be on it.
Well, shall we talk about... Let's talk about how we put together this live record. Because it might be how all bands do it. It might be just how we do it.
Yeah.
So what we do is Well, you were the first wave. You kind of listened to a bunch of the gigs from the tours and kind of said, hey, you know what, guys? This gig was a good one. This gig's pretty good. This gig's pretty flawless. This one had a good version of that.
Yeah.
And you kind of narrowed down the 100 gigs to like a top 30 or a top 20 kind of.
I think it was more like 20, yeah. For sure.
And then we had a list of songs that we would like to include on it that we kind of played from that era.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it becomes kind of, because we change our set so much, it becomes a little bit of a chasing game on a couple of tracks, because you're like, okay, here's 9 versions of Looking Too Closely, which one's the best? And it's like, well, this one's really good for this one the intro is really amazing, this one the outro is really good, this one you fucked up the bridge, this one you've got the lyrics on the second verse, and so on and so on. And it became a kind of narrowing down kind of tracks being interviewed for inclusion getting narrowed down, didn't it?
Yeah. And then you also had the dreaded problem of occasionally Rob's equipment would go in the middle of or crucially it'd be at the end of a song, and you'd be like listening to this version, you'd be like, man, this is the best version of this song ever. And then about 30 seconds before the end you'd hear
digital error.
Exactly. But so we made a big long list, and we sort of decided which ones. I mean, it's a combination, I suppose, of how spirited is it a performance?
Absolutely. We did have some criteria, didn't we?
Yeah. And also how accurate. I mean, obviously accuracy is sort of less important than spirit, I think, probably.
It's definitely a moving target, because if that moment, if the track has like the maximum vibe, then you lower your bar for like, how good are the vocals on that? Or how good was that fill that Mr. T just did, and so on. If the vibe is amazing, you're like, I don't care, it sounds great.
Yeah.
It's when you're looking for a track where you want to go, right, I really want the track on the live album to be like one of the best times we ever played it. And you might not have recorded that gig.
Yeah.
You have to kind of be like, what's the best one we got?
Yeah.
Because it won't be like it was when we played it at Lowlands and whatever it was. But and some of the tracks got knocked off the running order because we just didn't have a version that we thought, what, we haven't got a version that sounds as good as it felt.
Yeah, for sure. What we did in the end was we found ourselves bumping into the same gigs quite a lot. Like there was
we did.
There was some gigs which were clearly we were on fire, as they say. And the temptation then is to just include all the songs from that particular gig, but we did try and vary it up and have various cities, and and it's not like we honestly were just hunting for the best versions of the song. But obviously we were playing the same song across 4 tours in some instances. And some of them would have a Ruben Hine on keys, some of them would have Chris Nichols on electric guitar, some of them would have Toma Bloom on like fiddle and stuff. So it was also a question of, well, which version is the one we want out there? And like Shakespeare, we had a song we knew would be on there. We had a choice between Ruben Hine playing piano or Nicky Hustings playing
second drums.
Second drums. in the end, no offense, we went for Nicky.
Did we?
Yeah, we did because it just was a more kind of spirited version. I
Right,
think.
yeah.
Got plenty of other Reuben songs.
Got lots
on
of
there.
songs on the record, Reuben. Don't worry about that.
So
He's so livid. He's already writing an angry email.
yeah, sure. But Chrissy Nichols, he gets the most of all.
He
He's
probably
on-
did the most
Yes,
of all.
he
I mean,
did.
at that period, Chris was like unquestionably fourth member of the band.
Yeah.
Literally playing all the riffs all the time.
Yes.
And you're right. We've tried to capture moments and songs and performances of songs that are like the ones which somehow get the closest to being their vibes. Because you can't because we're not there anymore. And so, you know, I don't know what it was like to play Den Haag in 2017. I don't have any recollection of it at all. But maybe there's some recollection in the bibliography.
This is it. We do have our gigography in our book, which we published in 2021.
Available in no good bookshop.
We're all authors now.
And so I thought actually it'd be quite fun to look at the gigs that we've included, and then look at our comments.
All right. Well,
You're very good at this sort of thing.
Should
How do
we?
you
I
think
know
these
we've played a
things
few
through?
excerpts already in this podcast from the gig. Should we drop a few little nuggets and see what we thought?
Yeah. So why don't we pick Pilgrim live in Warsaw?
Oh yeah, okay.
2014.
All right,
What was the? What
Can
was
you
the?
remember anything like that?
Pilgrim live in Warsaw 2014. I absolutely do. Warsaw was
Klubu
a,
Stodola.
it was a great big gigantic box.
Yes.
It was good though, and it was raining it was raining like a bad biblical nightmare, and I remember thinking this gig's going to suck, and it ended up being really good.
Wow.
Wow, dude, I can't. That's amazing that you
That
remember
is
that.
amazing. You haven't normally got.
I mean,
that
I
great memory.
I could also say, oh yeah, I remember it. It was like dark,
Sunny day,
and
Yeah,
we
it was like
loaded
some
the
people
trailer
there.
and stuff. It was really good. What did?
Well, I can just remember it being incredibly big. Like
Yeah, it was
a
just a
really
gigantic
huge,
metal
You
box,
could play basketball in the.
It was one of those gigs in those days where we would rock up and just be like, oh no, you know, someone's made a big mistake. This is way too big for us. What did we say in our gigography about
We
it?
said, actually, yeah, so this is an observation from me. It says second trip here. So this was the second time we played it. Yeah, because we
in
played
Club
there with,
Stodola, yeah, right, yeah.
played with Erica and Ray in
Yeah.
2012.
Yeah.
So second trip here. This time it was sold out.
Yay.
Largely by looking too closely-ers.
Ooh, there we go.
That's a bit bitchy, isn't it? That's just sort of me saying, just people who want to come along and hear the hit single.
That's nice, man.
Oh, is it? Okay, fair enough.
Good problems.
Gig therefore busy, but not quite as special as it could have been. Ooh, okay.
Dear.
Fink technical associate Max Gilks and his missus came to say hi afterwards. Douglas and Fabian had a jolly good time in the old town before their show, and subsequently their playing was ... spirited.
You utter bitch. Is that all you said all that?
Dude,
Yes, that's all
you're
me.
dishing
I
the
remember that.
dirt, bro.
That's all me.
Dude,
Fabian and Douglas got a bit wasted.
They
amazing.
did, yeah.
So,
Max was sober as a judge backstage.
Yeah. Was he?
No.
No. And that was the night where after the gig we got on the bus and I ate pate that had gone off and then paid for it the next day by
wow.
being ill.
But you didn't put that in the book.
No, I
No.
didn't.
No, you didn't say, well, I had some delicious
Consent-
pate and I'm sure nothing will go wrong tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's really cool, man. So, I mean, I remember when we were looking for this track to put on the record, you heard this gig recording
Yeah.
and you were like, dude, we've got to use this intro. It's so mega. It's because how we used to do it was we'd have a drone after the walk-in music, and
Yeah.
the drone would be mixed into the walk-in music at the end.
Yeah.
And then I'd put like 10 minutes of this drone, which was from the album, and then we would one by one walk on and put on our thing, and then get on with it.
Yeah.
And it just had this really massive, long live kind of
and there was applause for everyone walking on the live recording. So
it's
that's
nice.
That's the best thing. Guy came on, and then after the applause, you can hear him going, turning his volume up of his bass. Then I come on as another little round of applause.
Then you can hear like kit getting clattered about, and
my hi-hat getting knocked by my
sorry.
And then there's a big round of applause, and on walks Finn.
Chris. Chris Nichols, yeah, of course.
And then Finn walks up to the mic and goes,
what do I say?
Good evening, everybody.
I don't think you do.
Hello.
Hello, Warsaw.
Ever get the feeling you're playing Warsaw?
Cracking fancy.
So yeah, it was a cracking version of Pilgrim. I believed that would be a good way to start the record. So
nice.
And so we do.
Yeah. And so it does.
Yeah.
I'm loving these observations from the gigography.
Yeah.
What else have we got?
Well, then we've got Looking Too Closely.
Oh, that's a banger.
Which was live in Berlin, Heimathafen.
So Heimathafen, I remember this one because we did a 3-night stand there.
Yes.
And
2014 then.
Same tour.
And it was like the Heimathafen was like we brought in some sound system. We augmented the sound system a little bit, and it had a really lovely backstage. And we weren't quite a Tempodrome band there. We were just, I think the previous run we'd done Lido or something, or Quasimodo or something, smaller venue. So to do 3 nights at Heimathafen was quite a leap for us. But after we sold those out. After we sold those out, I think the next play was Tempodrome, wasn't it? After those,
but you'll be right.
I remember we had a bit of a debate on which version of Looking Too Closely to use, and we went for, simply put, the most rollicking that we had. This one was the tightest, indiest, bandest, unthought, bang it out version that we had. And,
that's true. It's raucous.
It's really, really banging.
What's the date of it? Because Heimathafen must be November, if I remember.
Well, funny you should ask that, Guy, because you are the one providing the observation.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And it is my 40th. Big party after.
Oh, God, yeah, that was funny.
So that's, 15th of November, 2014.
Was actually on my birthday. There you go.
Yeah,
well, happy
cool.
birthday to me.
Nice.
Yeah.
You mean 30? You mean 30?
Yeah,
Tim? I think
sorry,
it must be a typo.
I think. Yeah, did you say 40?
Yeah.
God in heaven.
We're very nice about this gig. Finn says 3 nights at Heimathafen was such a delight. It is such a treat to get used to a venue. That is true.
That's true.
When you move in and you can leave your gear set up, that's really cool.
Yeah,
That's
it
a great
is cool
thing to do. But yeah, that was the Heimathafen gig.
I mean, it's interesting because we actually had Looking Too Closely from all 3 gigs to choose from, if I remember rightly.
Yeah.
And one of them on recording, one of them had the vibe. The other 2, in theory, should be identical, but they just absolutely weren't. I mean, on the night they were just great, but recorded, the energy didn't transfer like the one we used.
That's true. That is true. They're more accurate in
Did we use the one from the 3rd night?
First night.
The first night. There we go.
Yeah, first night.
I was going to say no comment. Maybe given that the first night was my 40th, apologies if it was me that sucked on the following 2. Might have happened.
So then after that, we've got, what can we talk about?
One more then. Let's have
We
one
can
more
talk
from the
about-
gigography.
Yeah, go on.
One more from the gigography.
Must be one more.
Go. Well, Truth Begins live in Amsterdam.
Oh,
Truth
lovely!
Begins.
Truth begins.
Yeah.
So we used to
Paradiso.
end.
Yes.
Nice.
We used to end the sets with Truth Begins as an encore, and part of that was because everyone else could then just bugger off and have a beer and have a good time.
Yeah.
Although I played it with Ruben, I think.
It was me and Ruben.
You and Rubes.
Yeah.
And we kind of bullied Ruben into giving me a big intro on it, didn't we? We were
That's
like,
right,
Do
yeah.
an emotional intro, and Ruben was like, ugh, so cheesy, and I'm like, do it. Tell you what isn't cheesy, getting paid, so do it. And it was very, very emotional, that song. So I was going through a lot of tricky emotional times at that point, and so singing that song on every encore was a real emotional grind. It was really, really tough to sometimes get to the end of it, because it was very much a song that I wrote in advance of the thing that then happened, and then I had to sing about it every single night. And kind of thing, and it was just really, really intense. And Truth Begins is a really underrated song, and this live version, it doesn't defeat the album version. The album version is totally different, but it's nice that a good song, if it gets its moment. And I've always thought Truth Begins was such a well crafted song, and I'm really glad it made it onto this record.
Yeah.
Listen, I know it's late, I know it's late. You told me already, I know it's late, I know it's late. I know it's been far too long since I reached out, longer than I thought, to work it out. The space between us is a vacuum, a comatose. Layers on layers, layers on layers. The journey unravels, and the truth begins.
It's a really, for me, it's like emotional because of the emotion of the song, but it also reminds me very much of that period and recording at Sound Factory and being in LA and all of that sort of stuff. But yeah, it's really lovely. So that was from Paradiso.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, being Paradiso, we're bound to be saying good things about it.
Yeah.
So this is another 2-night stand. We did 2 nights at Paradiso. I'm afraid I don't remember which one it was from.
I know
I don't
why
remember
that's
either.
Mr. T.
Well, it says here, one of us had to bluff this gig with a bone-rattling hangover.
I wonder who that
Guy wrote that, and then I wrote
guy's just pointing at Mr. T at this point.
and then I wrote, who can you possibly mean? If you're talking about me, that was in 2012, so I got the last laugh because he just misremembered it. That was from the first one. The second night, oh my god, this is pretty heavy. Guy's comment on the second gig is possibly the gig where Tim went for breakfast to discover the hotel swarming with cops. And I've written correct, not just the hotel, the corridor next to my room. And then it says here, a tale for another place and time, however. So maybe this is the place and time.
Yeah.
Oh, God, okay.
So we woke up and the hotel was swarming with cops.
And my corridor, this is at Hotel Amsterdam, stank, absolutely stank. And I was like, that is a smell I have never smelt before. I didn't even know what a dead person smelt like, but I thought that smells like a dead person.
Whoa.
And I was asked to leave my room by the people because next door to me, someone had obviously died.
Yeah.
So we didn't think about it. I mean, I actually worried that it might have been one of our touring.
Yeah, that's my first thought as well.
Yeah.
Was someone's
Didn't think
gone.
anything more until about a month later on the BBC news website. I saw that 2 British people had died in an Amsterdam hotel room after taking
white heroin. Yeah, I remember there's all these posters up all over Amsterdam saying, don't do it.
Cocaine
Yeah, well, I mean,
moment.
you really just don't do it. Full stop. But
it was
particularly don't do this one.
It was an ongoing campaign. It was everywhere. It wasn't just every bar and venue. It was literally every shop doorway had signs up saying someone is selling cocaine that's lethal, so don't take it.
I remember when our crew came down, we were quite relieved that it wasn't you and it wasn't you, and it was a relief.
Yeah.
God, I remember that. Wow,
Really
that was
it's quite hardcore. Yeah.
Two
There we
young
go.
men,
So
really
obviously
sad.
that has nothing to do with the gig, but
good times.
yeah, fair enough. So anyway, that's the 3 that we can talk about. From
Nice. Well, that's really nice to. I mean,
Yeah.
it's really nice to. For us, it's also a real kind of. It's not really indulgent to do this. We want to share these moments with people that want to listen to them. You know,
Yeah.
it's not just about us being like, aren't we great?
Sure.
But when you listen to the masters, Mr. T, I remember you saying you got very kind of emotion because it's just
Definitely.
like, it's an audio
all that stuff together, yeah.
photo album of a whole chunk of
Yeah.
life.
Because it was a very busy decade. Last decade was
Yeah, it
just.
was.
I mean, we were away gigging a lot, and it's kind of stirs up lots of emotions. Of how good it was and how much fun we had, but also how absent I was at home.
Oh,
for a
dude,
lot of that
our
period.
relationships were like patchwork trousers were all frayed and patches and stitches. I mean, my love life felt like like I'd repatched it and restitched it 1,000 times by the
totally.
time it ended.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we shouldn't complain because it's the life we chose, and other people have it tougher.
yeah.
But definitely missed my kids' first words, first steps, all sorts through just coincidence of when I was touring. But that's what I did to pay the bills. So it's what that's just the way
Sure.
the cookie crumbles. But I know what you mean. But I knew that Tim was emotional listening to him, and I also knew he was listening to him because I got a message out of the blue that was really sweet and complimentary and saying, "God, your bass playing on this live record is absolutely off the chart."
It's so good.
And I thought,
honestly.
oh, Tim must be absolutely drunk.
Yeah, Tim's emotional.
Well, I said, the thing is that you're not normally very you're quite hard on yourself and you're playing most of the time, but you are absolutely brilliant for this
bless you.
project, and it's just that was what came home when I was listening to it. It's really solid, it's really creative and
Nice one. Likewise, lads. I was amazed hearing how good you two maniacs
Stop
are.
it. Should we have a hug?
And Chris Nichols and Ruben
Yeah, I
Allen
mean, they're all
and
right.
Nicky Hustinks.
You guys are too nice. I just want to pause. Do we need to put another log on the fire?
put another log
On the fire.
Okay, heat has been restored.
Are we back in the game?
Yeah, I did.
Nice. So,
Stop.
Wheels Turn Beneath My Feet. Wheels Turn Beneath My Feet 2 is available on double vinyl with a lovely booklet and a CD because people still buy CDs. Fair enough. With loads of photos of our memories and of this really, really great time that we had.
I mean, that's the other thing, putting photos together from the time, because there's loads of them, and we also did. We've also done some kind of phone snaps as well in there, which are really cool. I really like them, and there's lots of fun times that we were having,
Yeah.
So
I think my favourite track on the record again is another lost classic. It's Resurgam. I think our version of Resurgam is bloody great on this record.
is,
It's
it is.
like, man, you don't even know that it's live until the end.
yeah.
It's
So
really
good.
good. And like for me on that one, Tim and Nicky with the combined drumming attack is like that's a really good example of how it should be done. It's glorious.
Yeah.
Well, I love Not Everything Was Better in the Past. That's huge.
It's lovely to get that track out
Really
again,
great,
isn't it?
Yeah.
What other tracks are on there?
Well, let's have a look. We've got Resurgam live in Warsaw. Sorry, Pilgrim live in Warsaw. Resurgam live in Den Haag. Looking Too Closely live in Berlin. Shakespeare live in Vienna.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
Yeah, okay.
2017. Truth Begins in Amsterdam. We Watched the Stars live in Berlin 2019.
Yeah, so where was that? Was that Temperdrome?
No, it was Admiral's Park.
Admiral's Palace.
yes, yes.
With Tomo, yeah.
That's
lovely.
Tomo, yeah, okay,
That was
great.
that was
I
great.
think that was
Yeah,
actually
no,
my
it really
birthday. Was that
was.
when Sophie Hunger brought the raclette?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, bless
That was
her.
when my wife bought me a doner for my birthday.
So
she just
good.
bought me a kebab. Actually, you know what? I really liked
Yeah,
it.
you know
It
what,
was
that's
the
like,
perfect
honestly,
gift at that point
brilliant.
in the
That's
gig.
exactly what I would
Yeah,
like.
thank you, babe. She's the best.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So what else? What else?
Hard Believer live in Berlin.
Okay.
That's, I think, maybe the same gig as Looking Too Closely.
Okay.
Bloom Innocent live in Antwerp 2019.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The Roma.
Loved
Yeah.
the Roma.
Loved
We all
the
loved the
Roma.
Roma.
That would have been the very night when
you-
someone stashed some Jean in the building.
That's right. And then was later, and then 5 years
Re-
later,
retrieved.
there we were. and
Gone
it
a
was
bit
retrieved.
stale.
Yeah.
Didn't think it would be 5 years before we'd be going back, the person told me.
Stash Not Trash. And they'd done a full refurb of the whole venue in the interim, and it was
right.
still taped to the underside of the table.
Genius.
Insane.
Just genius.
Then we have Not Everything Was Better in the Past from London.
Oh, yeah, from
Ooh.
Coco.
Big
no,
London gig.
Is that from Coco?
Shepherd's Bush. wasn't it?
Forum.
Forum.
Okay.
Oh, I can't just tell Forum. What a
2017, yeah.
venue.
All
Yeah,
right.
big venue.
Yeah, love that
Biggest
place.
venue on the
Best,
tour.
best backstage in London.
Love it.
Yeah, nice.
It's very
I reckon.
good.
And then This Isn't a Mistake from
Ooh,
Paris, which is
again.
another forgotten classic. This Isn't a
Really?
Mistake. That's a great version.
Where-
Quite sinister. Yeah.
Which gig? Which Paris venue was
That
it?
was Seagal.
Oh man, you remember when they showed us how they could put the floor up and down?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man.
Well, we really hope you enjoy it. I think it's a thumping good record.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah.
And it's out. When is it out?
November 7th.
November 7th. Great. Just in time for the
Guy's birthday.
festive period.
Yes, I mean it's like, you know, we're not like making a big song and dance about it and doing campaigns and hiring pluggers. We're just letting it be out there, and people will find it, and that's completely fine. You know, it's more like just like a fan document, and it's just there. We're not gonna shove it down anyone's throats. It's there if you want it. You might bump into it now or next year, or Google something and you'll find it, and that's good enough for us, I think, on this record, isn't it?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
No pressure.
Cool. Well, that's great. Well, we hope you enjoy it, and we are going to be doing another 2 episodes very soon of this podcast. So we will
Brace
see
yourself.
you. We will see you. We will see you in a week or in a couple of weeks.
Salacious, salubrious action.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's nice to sit by the fire and do a podcast. I wonder if some
very hot
crackles have managed to make their way onto the recording. I hope so, because it's very cute where we are right now, recording something.
Really
question
is.
mark ...
I can almost see the sea from where I am.
There we go.
Just if I stood up,
And I literally am going to go for a swim, like now.
Are you really? You're going to do the
because
evening?
You know, they're doing the mix.
Evening
So I'm just
shift.
going to go and have a swim, yeah.
Fair.
I might go and check that everything's all right at the Tinner's Arms.
Exactly. This is classic. I'll have a swim, Guy will have a pint, and Tim will probably
Start editing this podcast. Yeah.
Classic.
Brilliant. The
How
dynamics.
it should be.
Yeah, a healthy marriage. This is how a healthy marriage carries on.
Exactly.
Nice.
All right, then. Well, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you on the next installment of It Isn't Until It Is.
Lovely.
Nice. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.